And there we go. So yeah, the first chapter is pretty slow compared to the other chapters. All we can do is jumping and climbing. And one thing to note is that when we are jumping, then we are saving a little bit of time on each jump. Like you see the runners jump over this bridge for seemingly no reason, but that's actually a little bit faster. And we gotta save those frames, right?
Especially at someone of Mushi's... Sorry, with Mushi's time, every single second counts. Under 40 minutes, you can lose a few seconds here and there. It's really not going to matter. But that little tiny bit bunny hopping over that bridge really can add up. If you're half a second ahead, you could PB by half a second at the end of the run.
Exactly. And you have nothing else to do, so yeah, why not jump?
Looks like Mushi's going to go straight into Forsaken City. Forsaken City is, of course, the first level. Really, all you can do is dash in it. Relatively fast pace. Hornlet still, as far as I know, holds the world record. You're going to see that each runner is going to be doing different strats depending on their skill level, but most of them are going to be just about the same. Doing some wall kicks there, some really quick dashes. See, Mushi's going to skip over the slide there. Entering 22 seconds of that screen is pretty good. Ooh, commentator curse.
It's just a bonk on the head, that's not bad.
I'm very bad at commentator curse, by the way, so please chat, don't take me.
Yeah, so far it's going really smooth for both of the runners. That's cool to see.
That's the really good thing too, especially even if there's a few minutes between their PBs. The first chapter or two is usually really close, and then where Temple comes in, sometimes Golden Ridge, that's where you're going to start to see the difference in what the runners use strategy-wise. Are they going to try to go quick and merciless? Are they going to take it slow and steady? Or are they going to try to play it safe and save time overall with just plain skills and not dying?
There's also a big difference casually and like speedrunning wise in the chapter's length and difficulty, so that's natural that we will see a bigger difference later on. Yeah, I missed Msushi's time, but Sonic Blaster finished the first chapter with one... What was that? I didn't see it.
It looks like it's going to be a 119, and the other one looks like it was a 110. His timer actually readjusted, which I assume was just for a little bit of lag, because he lagged in the beginning.
Okay.
Going to be entering now Old Sight. Old Sight, when you first begin it, is kind of, best way to put it, a dream world. It introduces dream blocks and Madeline to Battle Line. Do you want to explain how dream blocks work?
Yeah, sure. When you dash into a dream block, you will basically dash through it and keep the dash momentum, so those are pretty fast ways to travel. And you also gain your dash back after traveling through the dream block.
You do. And I can see chat. If you guys have any questions at all, ask. I know a lot of runners in here watch the matches. They like to lurk. Both of us do run this game. We know a lot of the strategies. We may not be TGH good. Oh my god, I said THG. TGH good, YP good, somewhere around that. But I mean, we do know a few questions.
Yeah, and also now we see Madeline here. She is like a clone of Madeline, and she's evil and chases us, or the runners, and she basically imitates the movement, but is 3 seconds behind. So she's really fast if you are a speedrunner. But the runners know how to handle her, so it should most of the time not be a problem.
A really good thing we can say too, you mentioned when you come out of the dream blocks, and you're not going to see it during this chapter, you'll really see it when we come back to Summit. A strategy that some of the higher tier runners use, you can actually ultra as well outside of a dream block. But as I said, there's really no use for it in the beginning part, unless you just really want to show off and lose time.
Also, Msushi is now in the Awake section, which is... it basically doesn't have any danger, it's just pure movement. You just lose time if you like hit a spring or hit a corner, so... Yeah, you really have to focus on your movement in that part. So I'm gonna switch the audio real quick. Because Msushi is now entering Chapter 3. And Chapter 3 introduces those dust bunnies that were on the previous screen. And they are based on a cycle, and cycles are a big thing in this chapter mostly, because if you enter a room, then they are always on the same cycle. Like if you do it on a different run, they will be on the same cycle, and however, if you die in that room, they will be on a different cycle. So sometimes you have to learn 2 different strats for one room.
Yeah, that's most certainly true. Basically, like you said, each room has a beginning cycle when you enter it, which you can reset by entering the room and leaving. Some rooms you can't do that on. And then each room also has a death cycle. So in theory, each room has 2 cycles you can learn. Chapter 3, as he mentioned, has a dust bunny. This is one where the first movable objects come into play. It's really a chapter where, if you like the quote from Marshall, we turn it up to 11. It's not really that drastic, but it's when Celeste does give you a little bit more of a skill base as a casual player. It's also one of the, shall we say, harder chapters to do very quickly without dying. Do you want to explain Old Mess? Because a lot of people don't know. They're so used to watching the speedrun strata down, up, left.
Yeah, Msushi is now in the huge mess, I think it's called, and basically we have to search for Oshiro. That's the NPC that he just talked to, and after that you can choose between one of 3 rooms. Speedrunners always choose the same room order, because depending on which room you go in, a different part of the mess will be cleaned up, basically. And yeah, for speedrunning we have a certain route that basically makes it so we spawn right next to Oshiro, right again, as you see on Msushi's, because each room has a different exit. And yeah, casually it doesn't really matter which one you do first, but yeah, speedrunning, we gotta save every time that we can get.
I gotta be honest with everyone here. I put in about 150 hours before I knew you didn't have to go down upright, because it does change over a little bit. The one thing that we missed, because Sushi's kind of just blowing through this, when he came out of the first one on the bottom, he jumped on that ledge when he first came out. It's a real easy trick, but it makes it look like he's jumping off a spike. Spikes, hitboxes, when you're moving away from them, don't actually have a hitbox. So while it looks like he's hitting the spike, he's actually just doing a wall jump off it. Let's see if
Sonic Blaster. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Can be a little bit tricky sometimes, but he got it nice. Yeah, the switch that Sonic Blaster just pressed, that's one of those switches that cleans up a part of the mess.
I believe Mushi's on the last room now. Yep, he just cleared it. So he's going to be entering the elevator shaft. The elevator shaft is going to be where we're going up to the presidential suite. To not ruin the story casually, if you have not played this, it's an amazing game. You should. The speedrun really doesn't spoil it, so I don't feel like you're being spoiled. After we get to the presidential suite, bad stuff's going to go down. We're going to end up exiting out. But essentially, Oshiro says, well, the only way you can get through this is if you go through the presidential suite. You need to stay there with me. The hotel needs guests.
Yeah, and on Msushi's screen we will soon see the room, where is it called, the triple dash room or something? I don't know. But yeah, basically you do those three quick hyper dashes, and that looks really cool, and then you get the key and retry, so you can get back to the start quicker. Because if you retry, you don't actually lose the key. Yeah, this chapter really looks good for both of the runners so far. I think I haven't seen a single death.
I haven't seen any either. Mushi's blowing through it. He went into Oshiro at 4 minutes. Now, what happens is, basically, we make Oshiro very mad, and as we go through the very top of the presidential suite to go on top of Celestial Resort, Oshiro basically goes Super Saiyan on us, and he wants to chase and kill us. It's a very cycle-based part. Moshe! But, as I was trying to say, it's very cycle-based. There's no RNG in this game. This is one thing that attracts a lot of runners, myself included, because you can't be an hour into a run and lose it to RNG. Everything is cycle-based. If you die, Oshiro's going to be on a different cycle, but his timing is always moved. And literally, the time I explained that, Sushi's almost done. That's how fast he's moving.
Yeah, also that last room is really dangerous because it's so long, and if you die, you lose a ton of time, but he was just running through that like it was nothing.
That's right. And then he finished with a 450. That is a very, very good time for Celestial Resort. And I don't believe there was a single death at all. Wow. Moshi. I'm probably butchering this poor gentleman's name, and I feel so bad now.
And yeah, Sushi is now in the Golden Ridge, and as you see, there is wind, and yeah, wind pushes us back, makes us move slower, but if we're dashing, I think we gain the full momentum of the dash. Or at least you can still move fast against the wind. And wind also goes in the other direction, which helps us, but yeah, it can confuse a runner. Like, because it feels like different physics almost.
Yeah, you were explaining wind pushing like the different directions, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, my mic cut out a little bit. Yeah, as he explained, the wind can be detrimental to us, like you're going to see on Sushi's screen right now, but it can also be very helpful on the screen that he's doing right now, where he can just neutral wall jump all the way. There's a semi-tricky skip here. Let's see if Sushi goes for it. He did. Nice spike jump. See if he goes for the one in this room. Really good. Those two jumps take a little bit of practice, but they're not as hard as they look. I can't do them. But every single little second adds up when you're a sub 35, sub 40. Let's see if he's going to go for the auto-scroller skip. And he did. Very nice. Sushi is blowing through Ridge. Do you want to explain what happens during the second part of Ridge with the wind increasing?
Yeah, on the second part, the wind will increase even further, and we can almost not move at all, except by dashing. It will still take a few rooms until we're there, but yeah, and there will also be snowballs, and they are like Oshiro, and they appear on the same vertical height that you are, and they come from the right though, so if you're moving fast, then it might be that you are just jumping right into them. And here we see the strong wind. Right now it's a backwind, so that's convenient. But after this room, I believe it will be in the other direction. There we go. And yeah, as you see, Sushi is now almost exclusively using dash. Although we always do that in speedruns, but yeah, even as casual, you have to do dashes all over the place. And yeah, Sushi is really going fast through those rooms. Like, sometimes you have to take it carefully, because like the snowballs appear on a certain interval of time, so you kind of know when it will appear. So sometimes you just wait until it appears so you can dodge it, but Sushi just knows his strats. Like, they are not RNG, so if you always do the same strat, then you will go through perfect. And I think that was a Deathless Ridge.
I'm pretty sure it was. I was looking at the wrong stream when I was explaining. But yeah, same thing you mentioned. The snowballs, as said earlier, there's no RNG. So if you do miss, you could wait it out, or if you count the snowballs timer in your head, which some runners do, and I think that's impressive to say the least.
Sonic lost his dash, but he was able to save it by grabbing the block there.
Oh, very nice. I didn't reaction. That. Oh, but while we were talking, Mushi just entered Mirror Temple. Mirror Temple follows near the same thing. It's going to be different segments. And Sushi is just flying through the first one. Basically, what's going to happen is that Mirror Temple gets its name from the mirror that we're going to be coming in a little bit. You're going to see Theo here in a few seconds. Mixmaster Theo is the best character game-wise. Can't change my mind. He's trapped inside a mirror. Mirror Temple plays on your fears and brings that to life. Madeline's going to get sucked into the mirror, and you see a Seeker right there. You're going to control one. And then the Seekers are going to change, and Mirror Temple is going to get kind of scary. But Madeline's getting ready... Not Madeline. Sushi's getting ready to come up to a developer-intended skip. The reason of that skip is, it actually allows you, if you save a key, to get a berry. Do you want to explain how the actual mirror part works, since I like to talk too much sometimes?
I don't know which part you mean, so you could probably explain it yourself.
Okay, that's fine. So basically what Sushi's getting ready to do, he's getting ready to enter the mirror world. And as I said, the mirror has a little section with Madeline, but you know, yeah, we skip all the cutscenes in the speedrun. Sorry guys, we're not ruining the story though. But basically Madeline's going to have a little internal fight with Madeline. And these Seekers are going to come to life. The Mirror Temple is going to start coming to life. And it's going to be, at the very end, Madeline's going to rescue Theo. No spoilers, by the way. God, it's hard to explain this without spoiling.
Yeah.
Wait till next year. We won't spoil then, because it's already a year old. The one thing that we actually haven't explained is these blocks right here. The blocks like Sushi just hit right there, they actually only activate when you dash. You can use that to your advantage to get major speed boost off of them. There's a skip coming up, or actually Sushi already did it because he moved very quickly. That was just found, I think, rather recently. You can skip almost an entire room using a dash off of it. Yeah, it's something that Tej likes to do. Tej is actually the only runner I've seen use it.
And yeah, we might see a strat here. Yep, Sushi just used that Seeker to activate one of the key switches to unlock the door. And it does like a kind of hidden property of the Seekers. They and the explosion that they produce can hit the key switches. And that can be abused for speedrunning. That's pretty cool.
That's very true. You also
last just did a skip there, where he was able to skip a red bubble. Like normally you have to go to the left room and get in a red bubble to go through that spike tunnel, but he can just hyper dash through that.
Mm-hmm.
And we just missed. Yeah, go ahead.
No, it's okay. Sushi actually did an almost same kind of skip. He used a reverse dash, dashing against the wall, and then regained his dash and jumping to actually skip the entire spike pick and activating 2 keys. And it saves. It's honestly the longest skip in the speedrun. It saves easily over a minute.
Mm-hmm. We'll see it later on Sonic Blaster screen if you want to see it and you missed it like I did. And yeah, Sushi is now in the Theo section, and Theo is in that crystal, and we have to carry him through the levels. And as you see, Sushi kind of throws him and then dashes into him. That's used to conserve the momentum. Like if you're holding Theo, then you can't dash, so you have to throw him and then dash.
Yeah. This section can be really abused with Theo. You can use Theo to activate switches. You can use Theo. Oh gosh, what was I trying to say? Please don't squish Theo. Combinator's curse. But you can abuse Theo when you have him and just barely let him go neutral wall climb. You can skip major little parts of this that add up to probably 20-30 seconds over the course of the entire Theo section. And Sushi just...
No. What? That's really unfortunate. I think Sushi... Like, if you're holding Theo and get close to that door, then the door will open. And then Sushi threw Theo in the other direction, so the door closed again. And Sushi was standing under the door, so he got crushed. And yeah.
I feel horrible because I was getting ready to say it was a flawless Mirror Temple from Sushi. So sorry, Sushi. So sorry. I'm finally saying your name right, though.
Yeah, I think I've never seen that before, but yeah, that's really unfortunate.
Actually, one of my matches against Revo, I actually threw Theo in the pit, and as it was dying in the pit, I got squished by the door. Sushi is actually getting ready to start Reflections. Reflections, the best way to explain this.
Oh, we will see a lake skip.
Ooh,
well done.
Awesome. You can explain Lake Skip while he kind of goes through this. This is kind of an easy chapter to explain. Really straightforward.
I already missed the trick, but I can still explain. Like, he basically does a wall jump off the bottom of that wall, and a wall bounce, if I didn't say that. And that's basically just dashing along the wall and then jumping, like doing a wall jump while dashing. And that's a really precise trick because there's the spike right above the spot where you have to go.
Yes. Lake Skip is, to be honest, personally, I believe it is the hardest skip. And it was just recently started being used by some of the runners altogether. When I remember when the game first came out and people were testing it, they literally said it was TAS only. That was so long ago now.
I think they patched it to make it a little bit easier, but it's still one of the hardest tricks, definitely.
Yeah. Like I was trying to say, but Sushi, is just blowing through this. Best way to think about Reflections, think of it as coming together with a dramatic closeout. It's two halves coming together to work together as a whole, and the next chapter is going to be the grand finale, essentially.
And Sonic Blaster coming up to the Theo section as well. Unfortunately dropped Theo, so had to go back and pick him up. But yeah, now he's going.
But it also shows, with Theo not being that close, the actual door will not open.
Oh, taking an unfortunate death, but it was right at the start of the room, so it doesn't waste too much time. Yeah, I think we haven't explained those feathers. Like, Sushi is using those feathers, and they basically allow you to fly through the air. And if you're using the joystick or the control stick, then you can actually input more precise angles, and that makes it a little bit faster. That's the simple explanation. I think most runners are using control stick.
Yeah, most runners, unless they run on PC, which is very few, will switch and actually use, like, they actually use a keyboard is what I meant, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They will actually switch from control pad to control stick. Msushi still survived.
Yeah, that's a little developer intended skip. You can just like go through that little shortcut, but it's still kind of precise to do so. And if you die, you land at the top of the room. That was a bit scary for Sushi, but he managed to save it nicely.
Sushi's making very good time going into the battling section. The battling section is basically you're battling your inner self. You have to hit battle line and dash into her. Her hitbox is it's one of the most fakest things I've ever seen in the game. There are times when you'll get right next to her, you'll get pulled into her. There are other times when you'll be right next to her and you'll get pulled away. It's really hard to explain her actual hitbox. You literally have to play it yourself. But as you progress through, she will always do the same thing if you move in the correct patterns, because there's no RNG involved, but she will change her attacks occasionally through rooms, which require you to either take very quick, risky strats, like Sushi's doing right now, or take it slower and go around them, because any death in these rooms can be quite costly.
That was a quick death, so not too bad, but yeah, still a death.
Sonic Blasters entering the beginning part of Reflections as well. Not very far behind Sushi right now, overall.
Yeah, if you're learning this game, then it can be important to learn the layout of these rooms, because if you enter a room, then you keep the momentum that you were having while entering the room, and in those rooms you can't go back, so it can be kind of hard to practice them if you're starting out, because you want to go in with the momentum, but yeah, you can't reset it that way.
Very good explanation there. Sushi is actually going to be starting now the second part of the Battle and the Fight. This is part where Battle and basically throws telekinesis at you, doing anything and everything that she can to stop you, after she tells you twice you're not a mountain climber, essentially. He's actually nearing the end. There's two very long rooms here at the end that you do not want to take a death from. They are very unrelenting and cycle-based.
Also, the music just got an upgrade, and I really like the music in these two fights. Or you can call it one fight. But yeah.
Sushi's actually entering the very last room right now.
It has a really long feather section, so you can't really speed it up, except the last... Oh no! As you just said, dying in those rooms can be really costly. Yeah, Msushi doesn't let it get to him and just continues. Oh, that was close.
Oh gosh, that was scary. I think my heart dropped and I'm not even running right now. Sushi, he's still on very good pace, by the way. Even with that being a semi-costly death, his run is going very, very well. Basically, the way I explained it is two halves coming together, working as a whole. when you reach the end, Battle End basically says right now, hey, you know, we can do this. I don't want to do it. Let's try it. We'll come together. And you level up. Leveling up gives you a second and dash, which allows a lot of abuse to come up here in Summit with having 2 dashes.
And you see Sonic Blaster taking the safer route here. He's actually activating a checkpoint there, so if he died in that room, he wouldn't land on top, because, as I said, that shortcut can be kind of precise and annoying at sometimes. But he didn't die, so he wouldn't have needed it. But it's good to have.
He's still making good pace. From what it looks like, he could still be very well on PB pace.
On Sonic Blaster screen, we will see the battle line boost, which is a... Oh, okay, we won't see it. You can use... It was a small battle line boost. You can use the blocks, the Kevin blocks speed to get to a really high amount of speed and just dash right into battle line, basically.
Sushi's making decent time starting Summit. Summit is kind of like the grand finale. Sorry, I'm also trying to keep an eye on Sonic too. But it's essentially the grand finale. Every single part is divided between 500 meters, 1,000 meters, in increments of 500, and each section is a throwback to that level, essentially. Like right now, we are in the throwback of 500 meters to Forsaken City. And each time
which
you go
is
up,
chapter 1. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Sushi's still making very good time through it. Sonic Blaster, as well as making good time through Reflections overall.
Yeah, now we're coming to an end room in Summit on Sushi's screen, and you basically have to go to battle line several times, and she will boost you up. And you kind of have to follow her, and at the end she gives you a big boost to the next, basically, chapter.
Yeah.
So now we're in chapter 2 with the Dream Blocks, and yeah, you can explain it.
Yeah, Dream Blocks, they work pretty much the same way as they did. You're going to get your dash back when you go through them, except it's going to give you both. There's a few instances here where when they come out of a Dream Block, they're able to hyper, and it'll actually take one of their dash like Sushi just did back there. So it'll give you a major speed boost to the next one. I believe he just did it right there, too.
That was a corner boost. That was actually really cool.
The madman. He wants that PB.
Yeah, and the hyper dashes out of the Dream Blocks are actually really precise. I still haven't managed to consistently get them.
That section right there, you can explain about those 2 Dream Blocks with how close they are.
Oh yeah, those 2 Dream Blocks were like the corners of the 2 Dream Blocks were really close to each other, so with a precise diagonal dash you can just dash through both of them with just 1 dash. Which looks a bit weird, but yeah, it is possible. And yeah,
right now Sushi's in one of the longer rooms in 1500. 1500 is Celestial Resort, of course, chapter 3. And it brings back the Dust Bunnies moving with more patterns. Each room has a little bit of a way that you can go around it quickly. And then other ones, like that one, has the button you can push back there to move the block and take a little bit longer route. Right here, you're going to take a shortcut down here and skip an entire room altogether.
That was a really good section so far from Msushi. Unfortunately, he died there, but he recovers and now is on the end screen already.
He's still making very good time. It wasn't a very costly death, and he's blowing through the beginning, getting ready to go into the Golden Ridge section of 2000. And
Sonic Blaster also leveled up and is now entering Summit really soon.
From what I'm seeing, it's looking like Sonic Blaster may be on PB pace as well. Sushi still can, I believe. This is going to be very, very close.
Oh no! Sushi messed up his strat a little bit there, and then the snowball was actually able to catch him off guard. And we will see an auto-scroller skip here, maybe? Yes. we're able to move use the momentum of the block. Even if it's just a little momentum, it's able to let us jump through most of that section and then use a wall bounce at the end to reach the end. Sonic Blaster finishing up the last room of the first section. Unfortunately, taking a small death there, but that just loses a few seconds. Msushi finishing up the fourth section.
He is. He's getting ready to enter 2500 Mirror Temple.
Yeah.
Mirror Temple has hardest trick in the. We're gonna see if Sushi's gonna go for it. Be the game changer. It goes back to, like we said, each one having that. The blocks that actually move when you dash play a major role in this part. There's a few skips that involve them. There's a key skip coming up right here. Let's see if Sushi's going to get it. He did. By using 2 precise neutral wall jumps, you can actually use your double dash to completely skip going down below and grabbing the key to unlock it. And as we said before, it's one of the sections where as soon as you get the key, it's in your inventory, and it's actually quicker to restart and have an intentional death than go all the way down. Really precise skip that Sushi just did there as well.
And we're coming up to door skip. Oh, taking one death unfortunately. And deciding not to go for the keys. Door skip. Door skip is like you try to dash under those doors in that small area. And it saves like 1 second, right?
It is a 1 second save. It is the hardest trick in the game, though. I can't even meme that anymore. It's so dead. Sushi's making good time getting ready to go into 3,000 meters. 3,000 meters does not actually have screens, so to say. It does have sections where Madeline's going to boost you up, but it's essentially a giant screen altogether, and each one is counted down by checkpoint flags, going down from 30 to, of course, 1 being the final.
Sonic Blaster taking a small death there because he wanted to enter the dream block too early, but the checkpoint in that room was not right at the beginning, so it wasn't that bad. Also, we're seeing downwind on Sushi's screen, and personally, I really don't like it because it really changes like the gravity of the game, or at least it feels like that, because you're constantly getting pushed down. If you're climbing, then you don't climb so far. If you're jumping, then you don't jump so high, and yeah, it's really hard. But Sushi mastering this section, really well done.
Sushi's still making good time, even for deaths that he's had. Bringing in, it's like it's going to be a 30. It's hard to say. It's still very good for a race setting, especially underneath so much stress in the brackets. And then the same thing for Sonic. Looking at him, we may see easily a minute PB if he continues this pace.
Ooh, Sushi taking a death in one of the longest sections. Luckily not at the end. Like, I think this is checkpoint 13. At least one of the most disliked checkpoints in the community. Because it's so long, and if you die, then yeah, you just wasted a bunch of time.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest, not hardest, but longest sections in the beginning, the top part of 3000. Sushi actually did a skip there and was able to jump over the spikes. And that's actually only possible here in 3000 because of the updraft. The updraft is essentially giving you more height to your dashes and your jumps, allowing you to pull off little tricks that are only possible right here, like jumping over these spikes to get to the next crystal to revitalize your dash.
Also, the strawberry that Sonic Blaster just collected is not important. Like, it's just in the way. That's why we collect it. But usually we would skip it, or we skip all other strawberries. That's better said. And Sushi coming up to the last 3 checkpoints, so really close to the finish. Ooh, skipping the second last checkpoint.
Sushi's really pulling out the guns here at the end. We may see a sub 32, it's looking like. Going to be very close. Oh, that was extremely close.
That's a really good run from Msushi.
Oh, just barely not sub 32, but that was a really good summit, even with the deaths that were there. Especially considering, as I said before, this is a race setting, and there's practice in between, but you have hundreds of people watching.
And you can't reset.
Mm-hmm. Sonic Blaster is making good time, getting ready to come to the end of 2,500 meters. And as I said before, looking at the pace he's on currently, he could see up to a minute PB depending on how good his 25 and 3,000 meters are.
Yeah, he just has to stay calm and not get nervous. Using the momentum of the dash block again to his advantage. Taking a bit of a saver route here, but that actually didn't lose much time. And now he's doing the the skip, and he already did it before I found the name.
A minute PB depending on how good his 25. It actually looks like we have Sushi.
Oh,
if we in for
let me change the audio because otherwise we'll have an echo, I think.
If you can change that, I appreciate that. That is completely frozen on my screen.
Should be fine now.
Awesome. Sonic Blaster is getting ready to head up to the final room of 2,500, getting ready to enter 3,000 meters. Still looks like he's on quite a good PB pace.
Did you see if he did the door skip?
I did not.
Okay.
I feel so.
Yeah, I also missed it because I was changing the audio.
We can always ask chat. Skips the door skip. Not good.
Alright.
Right. Run not validated.
So yeah, nobody wins this race.
I mean, it is the hardest trick in the game. You gotta give it up to him. You don't want to lose all that time on door skip.
Sonic Blaster entering the downdraft section. Let's see how he can handle it. To be fair, since you said that he's on such a big PB pace, I probably wouldn't do door skip either because like it's such a small time save, and if you're nervous then it's easily messed up. Entering the end of the downdraft section, I think he didn't have a single death, so that's really good. As I said, I don't like this section, so I'm always impressed when people do that without a death.
If you're alright with it, since we are a little bit behind in Sonic Blaster, just getting around. Help cheer him on, as long as you're okay with that. Because the other race is actually right behind us on this same channel.
Oh, Sonic Blaster losing all his stamina, and oh, nice save. With the neutral jumps, he was able to still climb that wall.
Crazy save there, holy crap.
Like most runs would have just panicked and or probably just reset because they knew, okay, lost my stamina, I can't do the normal way.
Ask you one more time. Do you care if we get Sushi in here real quick?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Sorry, he's at the ready. We were trying to ask them.
says Sonic Blaster entering the last few areas, and we have Sushi here for an interview. Hey Sushi and Chi-Chi.
Hello, how are we doing?
So, how do you feel about your run?
Mixed feelings. A lot of mixed feelings. I guess overall in the big picture, playing 15 minutes, or 15 seconds, 15 minutes would be pretty bad, but 15 seconds off my PB in a tournament setting is really good. But I guess with the overall content of the run, I was playing very cleanly through the first 4 chapters, and some really dumb deaths in Mirror Temple, Reflection, and Summit really kind of hurt me. But overall, I can't really complain too much about my play.
15 seconds within PB is really good.
Yeah.
My quick question, since I butchered your name, is how exactly do we say your name?
It's the letter M and then the word sushi.
Okay, so I was right to begin with, and then chat confused me.
What is up, gentlemen?
Hey,
Yo,
Sonic
congrats,
Blaster.
Sonic.
Thanks, man. Congrats, Sushi. I apologize in advance if my mic is trash, by the way.
So
It's
Sonic,
fine.
was that a PB?
That was
Since
not a
we had-
PB.
I looked very close. I saw 3 numbers, so I wanted to verify before we said anything.
Yeah, it was close. I'm really happy with that run, though, actually. I mean, I've played this game probably 3 hours maybe in the past 3 weeks combined, so I was not expecting that run. That being said, though, I mean, I don't know. I got Sushi as my first round in brackets, so I was like, I know I'm gonna lose this. There's about half the people in second seed that was gonna be a really good race, but nah, dude. I'll get Sushi with the 31.
Yeah, my bad there.
Nah, it's all good.
We had a little bit hard pressed for time, but to both of you, you both did very good. You were very close with, especially Sonic. You said you haven't played in 3 weeks. That's been more astounding because I feel like I this game and I'm within 2 minutes. So 3 weeks is 7 seconds is really good. And then Msushi was really close as well. But I said you both did get to the bracket stages, and that's incredible right there. And at the end of the day, just having fun is what really matters.
Yeah, this tournament was a ton of fun. I'm really glad I joined it.
It's not over yet. I mean,
Hey, yeah, loser bracket,
2
yeah.
losses.
That should be a fun race, too. We're both really close, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, since we're hard pressed for time, I do apologize on that. Did you have any other questions for either one of the racers today, sir?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Just Chi-Chi to both, because both had a really good run and so really close to PB. That was amazing to watch.
It was a very fun race to watch. As he said, and I've said, GG to both of you. Very good job.
Yeah, good game, Sonic.
Good game, and thanks for commentating, guys.
With that said, we are going to get set up for the next race coming up. I'm not sure if we're going to refresh the channel or not. So, a little bit of a slight delay, guys. Again, it's going to be Celeste again. So bear with us for just 1 minute, alright?